Bonjour. Thank you for listening. I'm Gage Shimoji. He's Emerson Hip. And this is the Intoxicated Sports Report.
Woo!
And sitting in today in the Peanut Gallery is Devin Wallace.
Welcome back.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Thanks for coming to Paris with us.
Feel free to talk a little. Talk.
Speak up.
Speak up a little bit.
You haven't said anything.
Okay. You're right.
She's got about as many words as I have at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
And we are coming to you, previously recorded from Paris, France. Can you believe it?
Yeah, buddy.
We've become international. Handshake.
Oh my god.
Handshake. High fives. High fives. Can you
We
believe
did
it?
You know, when we first put together this idea, whatever it was, a year ago when we decided that PSG was going to be our team, I did not think that we'd be here today. But I'm glad we are. And
I think we should thank two people for us being here right now. Or two people / groups of people.
God.
One is Devin for
Yes.
actually making this idea happen. Congratulations, you got it out of the group chat.
she got it rolling.
Do you know how
Got
many
the ball rolling.
You know how many
to say the
things
least.
I've talked about in a group chat that never happens? And I thought that, we're going to go to Europe. Yeah, okay, no way.
Yeah.
But it's happened, and we're here. We are in our Airbnb that is
Glamorous. It's beautiful.
not as nice as we thought it was going to be.
It's the best place we could ever ask for.
But we have a roof over our head, and it's not that bad.
We
It's,
paid €1,000 a night for it.
it's good enough.
No, it works.
It's good enough. I like it.
We're not here to be in this place.
No.
No.
Except
We're
for
spending,
right now.
just for right now, just for podcast day.
And we also need to thank the voters for voting us PSG
Yes.
back whenever we did that. Because without them, we wouldn't be here right now either. Because the main purpose of this trip, I would say, is to go to the PSG game,
Yeah.
It was built around the game.
which we
Yeah,
are
we're
going to
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Tuesday.
We're going home.
We're
on
leaving.
Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
We're out of here on
Tuesday, Valentine's Day is when we're going to the game.
Yes. I think we also need to give a shout out to Sal
Yeah.
individually.
Yeah, sorry,
Because-
Sal, I forgot about you there.
Yeah, because he was the one who asked us to start talking more about soccer. Told us we needed to pick a team, and now we're here. We got
My apologies, because I'm still really bad at talking about soccer personally, but I'm still trying. We'll be going to a game. Looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward just to see what their place looks like that they play at.
right.
And you say it's probably gonna be a little underwhelming because it's an older.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be
facility.
negative, but I think it will be.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be new.
It's gonna be fun. It's
gonna
gonna
be
be a great time.
It's gonna be great.
Atmosphere should be electric. It's a Champions League game that we're going to, so it's gonna be fun.
And
Can't wait.
We are coming to you on Friday at about 6 o'clock. So Napa time, that
PM,
is
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yep. So it is 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. in California.
And let me tell you, the time change, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, we've had a little tough time the last couple of days getting a normal sleep schedule in, but we're still powering through and having a good time.
Our travel day was rough.
It was.
It was hard.
Not
It was
ideal.
hard. It was hard for me.
Not
It was
ideal.
really
It was
bad.
hard.
Yeah.
Well, we did 5.5 hours to Montreal from SFO.
Yeah.
I did the math, and it was 9 from leaving the house. It was 24 hours exactly to getting here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like including just okay, so
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So
Both
24
flights
hours
got
of travel.
delayed.
Yeah.
Both flights got delayed.
Airports are uncomfy.
Montreal to here was about 7 hours. That was tough. The,
Yeah.
the turbulence I talked about it many times, but
Oh
it
my
was
God.
terrible.
It was not ideal.
There was no. I mean, there was a point, probably a 10-minute point, 15-minute point, where it felt like the plane was just dropping.
We were on a roller coaster. It was not cool, and that was a big plane too.
It was huge.
Yeah. So the
Me-
drops were heavy.
And me having the motion sickness that I have, it's like you guys saw me. I couldn't even.
It was down bad.
I was down bad. I had the barf bag right in front of me, just in case. Just in case. It was tough, but we're here. Not looking forward to the 12 hours on the way back.
It'll be fine. You'll be fine. Better than having to have another layover.
Yeah, the layover was.
Somewhere else to be for
Yeah.
an extended period of time.
Yeah.
We'll leave.
So I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
So happy to be here though.
No, it's
It's been a
just
unique experience.
it's just been a real culture shock.
Yeah.
At least at first, when we first were driving in here in the Uber, I was just like, dude, like I don't know if I can do this kind of. It's just you're coming to a place you have no idea.
All right.
You've had no sleep.
no sleep. You hear people talking, you don't know what the hell they're saying.
The thing I was most worried about personally was like communication.
Yeah.
And,
Because-
and there's been
because
times when it's hard.
Yeah, the French language is so much different than any language I've attempted to speak. Even let alone English.
And I'll give it to you. I think you're the one out of all of us who's tried their hardest to speak the
Yeah,
language.
I mean, I think it's kind of a little bit of a respect thing to the people that are going to be serving you in a way,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if you can hear it, but someone's vacuuming above us.
Yeah,
We apologize for the noise. It might be a little annoying. Hopefully you already noticed it. I didn't ruin it for you.
right.
But it is what it is. We are in an Airbnb. We are in what would you call this, an apartment, a condo?
It's,
Like a
loft,
flat.
sort of.
Yeah,
a flat.
loft.
We're really giving you the real Airbnb experience.
Right. Yeah, it's an apartment, I guess.
So yeah, this is what we're doing. We're drinking these 1664 beers.
Yeah, these aren't bad.
No. I
It's
like it.
like a lager, I guess, of sorts.
This was the first beer that I got at the first place we went to lunch at.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think it tastes fine.
It works.
What's funny about these beers is I bought these at the grocery store. I think it was like about $17 it was a 20 pack. And Emerson brought it to my attention that these are only 8-ounce beers
Yeah.
in US
Yeah,
terms.
there's 25 milliliters.
So these beers are they go down fast.
Yes. So you might hear the fridge open a few times during this episode.
Thank you, Devin. Devin, what are you drinking?
Champagne.
Is it actual champagne?
Yeah.
Nicholas Filat.
And then this rose lemonade.
Making a
I've
little
seen this in
cocktail
the
of it.
United States
Yeah.
before. Yeah, it's like a spritz,
Mhm.
if you will.
There you go.
I tried it,
She fancy.
and it's tasty.
Yeah, it's good.
Very tasty.
Not sweet, which is nice.
We also, sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
we also have some nice cognac that was recommended to us by the guy working at Nicholas Liquor
Nicholas.
Store, called Frappin, VSOP.
Frapping.
We've already had a little bit, so it's we know what it tastes like.
Pour us a little more.
Oh yeah, sure, why not? Deb, you want any? Or you good with it?
No, I'm good right now.
We will be taking, someone will be taking some shots of this at some point, because apparently there's some bold predictions coming up.
We're in Paris.
Coming up,
Yeah,
yeah.
why not?
This is gonna be the first real night that I'm gonna be borderline drunk, so I can't wait until the morning, and then. Well, luckily you don't have to go to Uber tomorrow morning or anything like that because.
No, we have nowhere to be. It's just been interesting, the challenge of getting drunk.
Yeah.
I've
Does that
not
make
felt
sense?
drunk at once.
I feel like
But
we've had a good amount of
we've had-
cocktails.
right.
A good amount of drinks, beer, wine, cocktails, and nobody's been drunk yet.
We're spreading it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we go to lunch or dinner, we normally get a drink or two, but for us, we don't really. I mean, I'll speak on my behalf. That I don't really get drunk or anything off 2 drinks.
Right.
Yeah, and then we're walking a shit ton.
Yep,
So
yep, big time. Yeah, I think it's a lot of like focus on what the next thing we're gonna do too,
Yeah.
so you're not like,
you're not really thinking about
yeah,
it.
you're not.
But maybe
living
tomorrow we
Yeah.
can
Maybe tonight.
do whatever we want. Well, tonight for sure.
2 things I'm going to say about Paris real quick that I've noticed is 1, the driving and,
my God, yeah.
and the people crossing the road while people are driving.
The pedestrian traffic and the regular traffic, it's different.
It's almost
a different speed.
It's just it's so
unhinged.
it's so fluid, you know.
It is, which is kind of like
people are crossing, or they look like they're about to cross, and a car drives by. Everybody here is in sync in that regard.
yeah.
Okay,
And it just-
that's
and
a good way to look at
And
it.
it just makes me, I mean, it makes me nervous while I'm in an Uber watching people do it. Because I think for us, being not from here,
Right.
that, like we go to a crosswalk and we stop automatically. We kind of look at the car, and I just feel like people in this town who drive and who walk have this agreement. And I don't know how they do it. They have this agreement on who's going first and who's not.
Yeah.
I
Well-
imagine it would be challenging to drive here for the first time.
Yeah. People will be on your ass laying on the horn
Yeah.
frequently.
And then the second thing I'm going to say is the people's shoe game here. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of like the chunky shoes, but a lot of them are the Nikes, the Adidas, like, occasionally Vans, but
Lots of forums,
lots
lots
of
of
forums.
stands, lots of Jordans, Air Force Ones,
yes.
Dunks.
The Euro's got the drip, and I respect it. I really do. I might have to change my style when I get back to the United States.
You already have your not new shoes, but your Air Maxes.
Yeah,
Already kind of switched it
I've
up.
been wearing my Air Maxes this whole time with some Dr. Scholl's. Could be walking a lot. Hey,
Sponsor?
whatever. But yeah, those are the 2 things instantly I noticed.
Yeah, I would say obviously the architecture is old. Like that's just
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
very noticeable. Like you're not going to see that much in California or the United States in general. I like that. I said this to you guys that I kind of like that some of the stereotypes are at least somewhat true. Like people smoking cigarettes around every
everywhere.
block.
A lot of that. A lot of that.
Not people. I think the people being rude is overplayed, but not being generally friendly. Like no eye contact.
Yeah.
Along the streets. A lot of straight faces. No people not smiling.
Yeah, they just
Not
don't
saying
care.
hello.
They don't
Yeah,
care. It's
exactly.
not like rude. It's
They're
just that they don't care.
they're
that you're
moving.
there.
They're on their way to their destination.
Yeah.
Another thing I've noticed, and at least from what I've heard from my work, like the volunteers, like, oh, everybody, big pickpocket destination, and I think that is true, but, knock on wood, but I don't think we've had any issue with that.
I've
so
never even
far.
felt like really that uncomfortable around anyone other than the people trying to sell you souvenirs.
I do keep my guard up and kind of make sure
Yeah.
that like, people walking behind us
Same.
aren't like trying to because you walk behind us, so I make sure like no one behind you is trying to get all sketchy. But I've never, and we also have our belt bags that we're keeping on our chest. Like
Yep.
I keep mine in my body, and I keep put a jacket over it.
You
So
put
it's
it in your body.
or I put it on me, and I put it, I zip it up. So it's like I don't have my phone, my wallet,
Yeah.
my pockets,
I've tried to keep my pockets empty as
which
much as
is
possible.
also a weird sensation. I'm always used to have my phone, my wallet,
Right.
both in my pockets. But not gonna even risk that here.
Yeah. Well,
So there are the stereotypes, and there's the not stereotypes.
Right.
and we're here for another 5 days.
Yeah. We've
A lot-
seen
a
the
lot more time.
we've seen the Eiffel Tower.
A couple times.
We a couple times.
just every day.
Did a little boat cruise. We went to the Museum d'Orsay.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do today? We just went to
Versailles.
Chateau Versailles.
Which is
Yeah,
absolutely
that was awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anything in my life that is that beautiful.
Yeah. We got the Louvre coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Go
motherfuckers.
see
We better
Mona.
make it to the Louvre. We should have went there yesterday.
Yeah, we got a little screwed out of that, but we're gonna make it happen.
It's okay. It's okay.
We will not miss out on that.
We went to the Arc, right?
The Arc de Triomphe and saw a 360 view of the city, which was awesome.
We walked up about 1,000 steps.
Dude, that was a workout.
Remember, my boy right here was hurting.
the thighs were, the quads were burning, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a really great experience. And I am glad that we're hitting all the tourist destinations because, who knows if we're ever going to come back here.
Right.
Exactly.
And you might as well, it's,
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you're gonna be here, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Especially the amount of time we're spending.
Who cares?
There's
what everybody else
premeditated plans, but we've also done some things that we didn't think we would do.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I think so far we've all been not overwhelmed by the dining experiences yet, but hopefully that'll change as we.
Except for that risotto. You guys can talk shit, but
That's
that
right.
risotto was
You did like that.
killer.
I have not been wowed by
Yeah.
anything that I've had.
The ambiance in the places we've been to has been good, if not
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
But the food has been decent.
Yeah.
To say,
Still got
I
plenty
guess.
of time. Still got
Exactly.
Exactly.
maybe we'll find something nice tonight.
plenty of time. Ooh,
Ooh.
can't wait.
Also, we've yet to do a cocktail bar, which I think we need to do tonight as well.
Absolutely.
We are literally next door to a cocktail place.
Which looks pretty cool. I think
It's a karaoke bar.
it is a
Love
karaoke bar, but it's a private karaoke bar, so you can just enjoy yourself
You can
in the.
vibe.
In the
It's
lounge
not like
area.
we're walking into Downtown Joe's and someone's singing "It Hurts So Good."
Right.
Trinket Steakhouse.
Exactly.
Yeah, the skank house. Did I say that?
I don't think I've ever. I mean, I've been to Trinket Steakhouse, but I don't think I've recently been there and drank. Have you?
I've only been there for the karaoke.
I've been there 2, maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been a while.
Not too bad. So what do we got going on today?
So
What's
apparently,
on tap?
yeah, what's on tap? Apparently, when we leave for France, shit just goes down in the NBA.
In the middle of the night, though.
Right. Yes, it happens in the middle of the night here. So we will be talking about the trade deadline, and we'll mention some of the first-time All-Stars that will be playing next Sunday
Ooh.
in the All-Star game.
Ooh.
Also, we're going to talk about the NFL awards and the Hall of Fame class that was announced, I believe, today. And of course, the Super
This
Bowl.
morning for us.
Yeah, this morning. And the Super Bowl, we're going to do a little preview of that. We do have a little soccer update since we are here for soccer, so we're going to talk a little bit about that
Go.
before we get to last call. Gage, you want to kick it off with the NBA?
Yeah, let's go for it. So LeBron James, I can't go an episode without mentioning him. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list. It was a couple nights ago, right? 2 nights ago.
2, 3, something like that.
Of course. I love being here. I really do. But I really wanted to see this live.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
And I just, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not going to happen for me. But he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list. He did it in 150 less games than Kareem. Kareem held the record for almost 40 years, 39 years.
It's crazy.
One thing I'm happy about is LeBron didn't try to make the record-breaking shot, the hook shot.
Yeah, that would have been so cool.
Because we know LeBron, he's corny, he's this, he's that. Right? This could have been something that he wanted to do or try to do.
Yeah.
Kind of to pay homage, but it would have been a little corny.
It would have been cringy.
And also a little throwback for LeBron because he had the headband on that night. Remember when LeBron always
Did
wore
headband LeBron? Yeah. And remember when he lost it in like a finals game and made a Twitter account about it?
I want to say he stopped wearing the headband all the time when he went back to the Cavs.
Yeah.
Because his Heat years, he had it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's when you see a picture of him with a headband on. It's usually with the Heat jersey
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go on this whole long thing about LeBron James, but I'll just say this, that I think this is one of the most impressive feats that I have been lucky to see. That I have been lucky to see in my lifetime. I think it's incredible. I think a lot of people didn't think that this would happen.
Yeah.
In general, because Kareem had this for so long, and it was such. Even Karl Malone, who was second on the list, was 2,000 away from him, and even Karl Malone played for a long time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I don't think. So LeBron James was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was 16,
Yeah.
16 or 17,
Something like that.
And the
In
cover,
high school.
and the cover of it was the chosen one. He has the chosen one tat on his back. It's a little cocky for my liking, but he.
But you still have a boner for him.
Of course. He called the shot in that regard, and it paid off. But if I were to tell you back when that cover happened, that he would have been a 4-time champion, a 4-time MVP, I believe, 4-time Finals MVP, and the all-time leading scorer,
Yeah. It's crazy.
would you think anybody would believe that? There's no way.
I mean, it's hard to predict something like that. I mean, there's probably been so many guys that have been put in a situation like that.
Do you think the expectations, if I would have told you that, would have been way too high for LeBron James?
Well,
That'd probably be way too high for anybody.
yeah. Did you see that? It was an interview with him and Bob Costas. I don't know how old he was. He may have been like a rookie in the NBA, maybe just drafted, maybe even high school. I'm not sure. I'll take one of those as well. But he asked a question something along the lines of, it's reached a point where if you're not
A Hall of Fame caliber player.
yeah, if you don't, if your career is not Hall of Fame caliber, it's a bust. Like you can't just be an all-star a couple times or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, they put a shit ton of pressure, and I think you have to tip your cap to him for fulfilling that and then some.
He had the weight of the world on his shoulders when he was 16 years old, and he managed to exceed those expectations by more than anybody probably ever thought. Yeah, he doesn't have more championships than Michael Jordan, but I think he has had one of the greatest careers of all time.
Oh yeah,
He's the best basketball player that I have seen play.
100%. Yeah.
So
I think he's probably the second best player ever. I mean, everyone's got their own opinions. Everyone loves to have their lists of who's the best basketball player ever. He's probably number 2. You could probably also make the argument that he's the best ever, but
It just depends on what your
what you
gauge is.
yes,
uh,
and what you value. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, unbelievable career. I think what's amazing too is that he's the all-time leading scorer, but at a lot of points in his career, he was kind of a pass-first player.
he's top 5 in assists, like we mentioned last week.
Yeah. So I think just his all-around game is not ever going to be matched by anyone, and I don't think has been before.
And talk about a record that might not ever be broken. Like he's going to get in the 40,000s.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
of
That's my
points.
question. Is so obviously he's not retiring anytime soon, right? So he's at this point, from this point forward, he's just building that.
I mean, you think even just 2 more seasons playing, 60-ish games, he'll be at like 42,000.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he probably could play even longer than that.
Just to me, it's remarkable, and this is a record that I've been looking at for years. Like I think I was looking at this stat probably 10 years ago. Like if he could actually do this,
Yep.
what I mean? And he did, and I'm happy for him. Seems like a great person on and off the court. has been with, he's kind of like how Derek Jeter was.
Yeah.
You never really heard about.
Oh,
Well, you never heard about him badly in the tabloids.
Yeah.
He's had the same girl since he was in high school. He has 3 kids with her. I guess Derek Jeter is a bad.
Derek Jeter is viewed as a womanizer, and he can't do LeBron like that because he is not.
I guess you don't hear anything in the news about him.
I think LeBron uses his platform well.
Yes.
And more.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter tried to hide kind of.
Exactly. He just was like, I'm a professional basketball player.
Right.
So congrats to LeBron.
Yeah.
And no, this won't be the last time I mention him on this podcast.
Right.
I promise.
Well, you guys were talking about last night how you don't see anybody that's currently playing or like in college or whatever breaking this record.
It's really
You
hard.
don't know
Yeah.
for the foreseeable future.
I mean, I think realistically, if someone's going to do it, they have to be by their second season, they have to be at least sniffing 30 points a game, and then do that between 25 and 30 points a game for a 20-year career.
You have to start young because LeBron started when he was 18, and now you
Right.
have to go to college for. I guess you don't have to go. You have to do something for a year before you go to the NBA.
Right.
And LeBron didn't do that.
Right. He
Because
doesn't
that was a
have
rule
advantage.
post LeBron.
It was a couple years, or 4 years after.
So you could ask the question, would anybody ever break that
I don't know.
record?
I
Because
think
they can't do that anymore.
I said that. I think I had said the only person I thought that could beat it at a point was Kevin Durant, but he gets too hurt now.
Yeah. The other thing working against players of this upcoming generation is that
Load management.
100%. Because LeBron didn't have to do that for a good chunk of his career. Now he does get hurt every now and then.
I don't think he played last night. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
or
And-
the last
no,
game.
he
yeah.
was like in a suit.
Yeah, and plus there is the load management, but yeah. So yeah, I think this may not be a totally unbreakable record, but it's not going to be easy for someone. They're going to have to be an absolute stud.
Truly an athlete.
Yes.
Kyrie Irving traded to the Mavericks. Who saw this happening? Not me.
Well, between our last episode and now was his request to be
I
traded.
was gonna say he requested, so a
And
lot of people
then-
saw it coming.
I mean, actually didn't even think that they would make the trade happen, but they were like, okay, if he's going to leave us this summer, which was the very real possibility, let's get something for him. So I don't blame them one bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, on paper, it's not a total win for the Nets, but what are you going to do? You got to get something for him if
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
going to be gone.
The Mavs also received Markieff Morris, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith to the Nets plus picks.
Yeah, no substantial picks, but
Yeah, Kyrie with Luka.
that's going to be interesting. They haven't played together yet because Luka's still nursing an injury, but in Kyrie's first game, he did play well and they got the win.
Kyrie's also our number 2.
Yeah, going back to the Cavs
Going back
days.
to the Cavs days. I
Yeah.
like it.
Oh my
I
god.
like it.
Now, was he number 11 at Duke?
I think he was 2.
He was 2 at Duke? Okay.
Or
Because he only played like a handful of
was he
games
number
in college.
1 at Duke?
We could do some little research.
You guys need to like make a graphic of
Everyone's number.
numbers and like how you feel about each one because it's so just there's no rhyme or reason.
No.
You're like, oh well, I like 8 because it's a cool number. Okay, that's
We gotta
nice,
rank our
but-
numbers?
Yeah,
Gotta rank the numbers.
the
and
most
numbers that we
ideal
like.
number. It's like okay, yeah.
It's honestly funny to think about Kyrie Irving in college basketball because no one gave a rat's ass about him in college. He was number 1,
Getting caught.
and he started 8 out of the 11 games that he played. He was good, 17.5 points. He was definitely good.
Where did he play?
Duke,
And what does Kyrie play? What position?
point guard,
Oh, okay,
Point guard.
he's short, I guess. Huh?
6'2", yeah.
Did you see that the Suns offered CP3 and players for Kyrie? Are you surprised by that?
That is interesting.
I feel like CP3 is the Suns, and I know you want to get the better player because I think Kyrie is the better player at this
Right.
point.
Well, dude, because Chris Paul, since Kanye, he's not been performing.
Wow. But you know what I mean?
I mean,
Underperforming.
I agree with you that Chris Paul has been like a very key piece to their success the last 2-3 years.
Mhm.
But if you look at his numbers this year, it's kind of indicative of when like the Houston Rockets were ready to move on from him. Before he went to the Suns.
Man, that makes me sad. Because he is the Suns, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Him and Devin Booker, they
Yeah.
are the Suns.
So, yeah, I mean, he's an older player for sure. He's reached that point. He's still very effective. But
So maybe the Suns thought, hey, if we can get rid of Chris Paul, who's older, and get Kyrie, then that's found money.
and which it's going to be associated to the next thing we're going to talk about, but the Suns just finalized their sale of the team, and their new owner wanted to make a splash. So I think that was
I
part
didn't
of
think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
it. It just happened like 2-3 days ago.
So if you know this show, you know that we have ISR jail.
Which I'm a little sad we don't talk about more, but it's one of
I've
those.
got a couple things I could put in jail. We'll get to that.
So we said we wouldn't talk about Kevin Durant anymore, but we have to today because he did get traded to the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
And we said KD is done until the Nets clinch a playoff spot.
Not doing that.
I think we're gonna have to change the sentence. It's gonna be updated.
They're not doing
So
that.
should we get rid of the KD thing altogether?
I think we should release him from jail.
I think we should too.
Since initially it was him being traded somewhere,
Well,
right?
like, he just kept talking about it, and you guys were over talking about it.
Yeah,
That's where it stemmed
It just
from.
seemed like he was being a little bit of a diva, whiny.
Sure.
So KD, you are out of ISR jail. That means
Good for you.
That means we got to take a shot.
I don't. I'm not.
No, you don't have to.
Now, when people get released from jail, it's not going to be an automatic shot for us. But since we kind of feel the need to do it this time,
I think we're doing this because we have to talk about it.
exactly,
We can't not mention this. We're going to say, oh, some guy got traded to the Suns. No,
Right.
we're not going to do that.
exactly.
Is this a new jail rule though? If you have to modify the rule, you have to take a shot.
I think it'll be case by case.
All right. That's lame. But
Okay, so cheers.
Yeah. So cheers to Kevin Durant being released.
And you're shooting cone.
Yes.
Cognac.
That's like frowned upon.
No. Well, maybe. Depends on who you are. I've served shots of Hennessy plenty of times. Don't you worry.
So Kevin Durant, like I said, traded to the Suns in a 14 trade. T.J. Warren is also headed to Phoenix. Nets received Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and 4 first-round picks, which is huge. 4 first-round
It's
picks.
a lot of first-round picks, but realistically, all those first-round picks are going to be in the 20s or later.
And you got to respect the Suns because you got to think those 4 first-round picks that the Nets are going to get, chances are none of those guys are going to be Kevin Durant.
Right. No, absolutely none of them. For sure, none of them will be.
And Kevin Durant is older, and he's been hurt.
Yeah.
But I would take Kevin Durant right now over those first round picks. I would.
Yeah. I mean, from a Nets perspective, they didn't make out terribly. I mean, Mikal Bridges is like a really good number 3. He would be a decent number 2 on a team. Cam Johnson, sharpshooter, great role player. Both guys are younger. And some picks, the picks are, you never know what they're going to pan out to be. But they did not make out terribly. I think it got down to the point where it's like, KD probably doesn't want to be here because he didn't want to be here 5 months ago.
And then Kyrie getting traded.
And Kyrie getting traded, it's like, we're not going to try and appease this guy anymore. We're just going to, we gotta make a move now.
And you're telling me the Suns managed to not get rid of CP3, DeAndre Ayton, or Devin Booker?
Yeah, I mean, that does seem a little weird, but why would you make a move for a guy if you're going to have to blow up,
Get rid of. Yeah.
a big portion of your team?
I'm just surprised the Nets didn't ask for more right now with players.
Yeah, CP3 wouldn't make sense because he's an old man. Like, that's just, what would be the point of acquiring?
Like, if I'm the Nets, I'm thinking I need Booker.
No, I mean, the Suns wouldn't do the trade.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's a fair
Suns
trade.
would not do that trade. This makes a little sense for both teams, I think.
So you don't think, I was going to ask you, as the kids say, fleeced. Do you think the Nets got fleeced in this deal?
Low-key.
Sure, you could make that argument, but like,
They got
What-
something out of it, but they didn't get out well.
what does it matter? I guess if KD was just gonna be bitchy, probably anyways, I think Mikal Bridges is a really good player.
Bridges! Yeah.
Wrong Bridges.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How's that,
That's Miles Bridges from Charlotte. Yeah.
Are they related?
I looked that up. They're not. No. And if you're trying to make a splashy move, as this, from the Suns' perspective, you're not going to give up,
Yeah,
Like-
give
like
it your stars, not
Aiden
not enough.
would kind of make sense because He's been unhappy there for the last couple of years, even though he did sign an extension. But yeah, I mean they got a nice, you could say four-headed monster if you will. I mean,
They have to be favorites to win the West.
they are
As of right
right
now?
up there. Yeah, I mean I would put them with. I know you don't respect Denver that much, but I think Denver's really good, and Memphis. So it's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm glad that some teams are making moves, and even Dallas, you could throw them in there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see how Luka and Kyrie play together, but I'm glad the Western teams are making moves because other than Denver, none of those teams have really stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Memphis is really slipping down the standings right now.
Memphis is the West.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Tennessee plays in the SEC though.
Memphis is in the West, and John Morant's not worried about the West, but I think he probably is now.
He's tripping.
Another trade that happened was the Lakers, Jazz, and Wolves completed a 3-team trade. Lakers received D'Angelo Russell, so he's going back to the
Back to LA, yeah.
Going back to LA where he
It's
was
kinda
drafted. Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt.
Also going along, yeah.
Jazz received Russell Westbrook, Damian Jones, your old boy, JTA, also your old boy, and a first-round pick from LA. Westbrook is expected to be bought out.
Yeah, I don't think that's been made official yet, at least not to my knowledge. But
Russell, he's just...
What do you mean bought out? What does that mean?
so basically, they will agree upon a dollar amount for him to receive, and he will become a free agent.
He won't be on the team.
Oh.
They'll pay him to not be on the team.
Interesting.
And it sounds like the Clippers are interested, and there was one other team, or vice versa. He was interested in the Clippers.
He's trying to keep his house, you know?
Yeah.
Right. For Westbrook, you hate to see him get tossed around like this. His 5th team in 5 years.
I don't feel bad for him.
I know you don't. I know you
We
don't.
talked about this.
Yes.
I'm not a Westbrook guy, but it's just you hate to see somebody be at a peak, and he was really great at one point.
Yeah.
He didn't sustain, and he wanted to get paid for sustaining, but he
Like-
didn't sustain.
Can you remember somebody being at a peak to where he was like MVP, triple double in
Yeah.
a season, and then get dropped off like this? I don't think I can remember anything happen like this.
It's a tough scene for sure on his end. I just feel like he's been a little like tone deaf about his realities of his career. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like he was so unwilling to accept a bench role until he finally did, and then he was like, not super effective, but it was probably a good role for him. But yeah, he's got to look himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
He can't be mad. He just hasn't done enough to keep up with his salary, if you will.
Tough scene.
Yep. Also, the Wolves are getting Mike Conley and Akil Alexander-Walker and some picks. It's funny thinking about these 3-point guards involved because if you think about all of them, D'Angelo Russell is still in his prime, but Westbrook and Mike Conley 4 or 5 years ago, that was their prime.
Yeah.
And they're all just getting tossed around. I don't know. Honestly, I can't believe the Lakers pulled this off. Because not that D'Angelo Russell is a superstar, but
He's probably more effective than
they'd
Westbrook.
much rather have him than Russell Westbrook, and they were able to get out of Russell Westbrook for basically just giving up a first-round pick. That's found money right there.
Yeah.
It's interesting how many of these trades have involved like low key workplace toxicity a little bit. You know,
Right.
Durant's like, get him the fuck out of here. This is not good for the locker room. Same with Russell Westbrook, right?
Well, and apparently he had a run-in with the coach during halftime a couple of games ago.
Durant?
No, Westbrook.
Oh, Westbrook.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think it was one of the coaches on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the head coach.
Well, they said Darvin Ham in the article I
really?
read, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So it was time.
Yeah.
The Warriors acquired Gary Payton II
He's coming back!
for James Wiseman as a part of 4-team trade. So James Wiseman, he's
Jesus.
gone. He's
He's
done.
outta here.
See ya.
It's weird.
Later, you guys should have drafted LaMelo Ball. In hindsight, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a much better player at this point. It's weird. I mean, it sounded cool to get a big man, but I guess the fit just really never was there. Unfortunately, I feel bad for James Wiseman in this whole situation, and maybe he just needs to work a little harder to improve his game.
Yeah.
But he really hasn't been given the opportunity at the same time.
And this
So,
guy only played what, like less than 10 games in college too.
yeah, like 3.
Jeez.
Yeah,
And it can work out for people like Kyrie Irving. What, he played 8? You said
11.
11,
Yeah.
which is it's more than 3, but it's still a small sample
It's,
size.
yeah, it's
And that's just due to their short college career.
Right.
I mean, three games is literally nothing.
it's basically not fun.
But it is really cool. I think it's cool that Gary Payton's coming back.
I love this move. I mean, people could say like, why didn't they just sign him if they were going to trade away an asset to get him back? But financially, it didn't make sense at the time, at least to ownership.
The Warriors always make it work, and I wouldn't be shocked if this worked out for him.
This is probably bigger than the average person would think, because he was such a vital part of the Warriors' success last year.
Yeah.
I mean, when they lost him during the middle rounds of the playoffs, I was like, even though he's a role player, that's a fucking huge loss. Like, he's their best perimeter defender.
He's like his daddy. He's a good defender.
He is, yeah.
Oh,
He-
chill.
He's the Glove Junior.
Offensively, like, he can play the dunker spot. He doesn't have a huge offensive game, but he can play the dunker spot. He can, occasionally hit a 3. But no, and he quickly became a fan favorite because of his effort, which I don't see a lot of the bench players on the Warriors right now that have done that and endear themselves to the fans, which is, I think, is huge for a championship team to have role players that an average fan can say, hey, that guy does his job, and you can see it on the court easily. And Gary Payton did that a lot last year. So definitely happy to have him back.
Yeah, it's great.
What's the Warriors' record right now?
They're like a game over 500.
And how are they? Like, where are they at?
I think they're 9th in the West, or 8th in the West, something like that.
It's been a lackluster
Yeah.
season, right?
Well, the West, you could win 3 games in a row and be 2.
Well, yeah, it was-
lose 3 games in a row. and
Because
be
I
12.
think
It's challenging.
they just recently got up to number 5 and then dropped back to number 8.
Oh, geez.
just
but
like that.
but kind of a lackluster season.
Yeah, a lot of teams have,
some
though.
injuries.
Yeah, injuries too.
So this kind of move is good. Good for morale.
Yeah, I think everyone's happy to have Gary back. Yeah, it should be fun. Like I said, I do feel bad for James Wiseman. Hopefully, I think he's going to Detroit in this trade. So hopefully he gets a good opportunity to show off his skill set.
Enough of the Warriors. The Kings finally have an All-Star for the first time since
Saboner!
Boogie Cousins in 2017. We have DeMontis Sabonis named an All-Star. We thought De'Aaron Fox would be in there.
Which still could happen as a replacement
Yes,
because Steph Curry is hurt.
which still could happen. But DeMontis Sabonis, you gotta love the guy. We've watched a lot of Kings games together this
We
year.
have.
She's a Sabonis fan. She wants a jersey.
You know what Sabonis is? He reminds me of a poor man's Kevin Garnett when he was playing in his prime with the Timberwolves.
I have a Kevin Garnett jersey, actually.
You do. And
I have a Kings Bibby jersey. I can put duct tape, put Sabonis over it.
Oh my god.
Number 10.
he will sit in the mid post and he'll play playmaker. He'll do the little ball up here.
Yeah.
If you're open, I'll pass it to you. If not, I'm taking it to the rack.
We love that.
It's been a great season for the Kings, and it's nice to have an All-Star. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it should have been 2." And yeah, De'Aaron Fox had a good year, but people that
If the Kings were like comfortably a top 3 team, you could easily make the argument for 2. But they're just kind of like stuck in the middle a little bit. Yeah.
I think, if I remember right, I think I talked shit about the Sabonis trade to the Kings. I wasn't in favor of it.
Well, because Halliburton was balling. It was like, why the fuck would you trade this guy?
And I think I said it kind of reminded me of the Kings drafting Marvin Bagley. Same kind of position player
Yeah.
and all that. Clearly, Sabonis
Has been awesome.
is a lot better than Marvin Bagley Jr.
Right.
So I apologize to Sabonis.
Well, because it kind of
Many times.
Yeah, it was almost like, how does he fit on the team? Like, do you actually value De'Aaron Fox that much more than Halliburton? Like, you could have traded Fox for him, but it's working out overall.
So congrats. It's great. Kings fans, we need to go to a game. We've said it
I
before.
was
gonna
I'd love
say,
to go
is
to the
that
game.
is that in jail? No. Well, let's go.
Not yet.
I'd love to go to the game.
Speaking of Halliburton, he is a first-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Same as Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Much deserved.
Lauri Markkanen, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Love
Wow.
that. Love that.
Yeah, first time. Not many first time All-Stars.
Really
but
glad I did not botch Shea's name because it's a long name to say.
It is a long name. We haven't talked about him enough because that guy is a baller.
I can't say I've watched a lot of Thunder games.
He
so
has
I wanna talk about him.
he has an interesting game, but he averages like 30 points,
Yeah.
six assists, 50% shooter from the field.
Who's that white boy on the Thunder who has an interesting game too? Long hair?
Josh Giddey,
He's got an
the
interesting
Australian.
game too.
Yeah,
He knows how to play.
no, he can play for sure. I like him. The Thunder are a funny team to watch. They don't shoot the ball very well, but they score different than most teams.
Hey, as long as you get the ball in the basket and you win, I don't
Yeah.
care how you do it. Not everybody
So,
can.
I mean, that's basketball.
Not everybody can be the Warriors and shoot from 45 feet and make it. You know what I mean?
Well, there. See, now that's a good example. Is that the Warriors had a very unique skill to be able to shoot the ball from the outside,
Yeah.
and they use that to their advantage. The Thunder are doing it in a different way. They
Yeah.
get the ball inside.
Mhm.
They're really good at driving and kicking and
Yeah.
scoring in the paint.
Or the way the Kings score the basketball. I mean,
Yeah.
they do shoot it too, but you give us a bonus and he does his thing.
And they
down low.
play up and down. They're a fast team.
Shout out to Mike Brown also.
Yes.
Warriors product. I mean, he's made his name other teams too, but
Yeah. Mike Brown.
yeah.
I've served him pancakes before.
Have you?
Yeah.
The Marriott?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He brought his kids to Raiders training camp.
Nice. Was he a nice
Oh,
guy?
that's
He was nice. He, although he asked for me to have his syrup warm for his pancakes, and I didn't bring it out warm enough for him, and he asked me to go warm it up again.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You
He
guys
was,
don't
he
have
was
your
very, he
syrup?
was very kind about it though.
You don't have your syrup warm?
Yes and no. It wasn't warm enough for him.
Otherwise, I mean, when my parents would make it, the syrup
Oh, yeah.
would always be warm.
Definitely throw that shit in the microwave.
Yeah,
before, so.
yeah, okay.
I
alright.
mean, warm syrup is better than cold syrup, but
The tough thing is that our syrup caddies had a metal top, so you can't just
Oh,
like,
jeez, yeah.
pop that in the microwave.
was it like a glass
Catching up
bottle?
with
Glass
loads
bottle.
They with the little screw on, yeah. So you had to like, if you weren't on top of your game with like the tray of hot water,
Mhm.
it was not easy to pull off.
Well, I'm glad that he was nice about
He
it.
was nice about it.
That's cool. Little
On-
celebrity.
On to the NFL. Sorry. On to the NFL. Hall of Fame class came out.
They did. I didn't even realize. I always forget that this happens around this time.
Yeah.
Same with the awards.
And some of the headliners are Rondé Barber, played for the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers, all 16 years. I didn't know that he played all 16
Yeah.
seasons there.
He's the only player ever with 45 interceptions and 25 sacks. And he's a 3-time first-team All-Pro.
I think All Pro is about one of the most important parts of getting yourself into the Hall of
Because the
Fame.
Pro Bowl's a joke.
Yeah, Pro Bowl doesn't matter.
It's a joke. It
Pro Bowl
is.
doesn't matter.
Darrelle Revis. Revis Island is in the Hall of Fame, and this was
Big,
this was
yeah.
going to happen.
Big part of our football watching lives.
29 interceptions, 31 pass deflections,
Passes defended, yeah.
pass defended.
In 2009. That was a single season record to this point.
Oh, so okay, gotcha. 14 first-time All-Pro.
4-time.
What did I say?
14.
You're botching this.
Oh, 4-time first-team All-Pro.
Yeah.
Zach Thomas, 6-time first-team All-Pro. I remember this guy, Zach Thomas, or
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas.
Yeah, the left tackle for the Browns. You do remember Zach Thomas, though. He played a year for the Cowboys.
Well, I remember Zach Thomas, who also made the Hall of Fame, 5th most tackles all time,
Which I did not realize. I remember Zach Thomas for sure.
and then he's a 5-time
For the Dolphins, yeah.
first-team All-Pro.
Yeah.
Zach Thomas, I would always play with in NFL Street.
Oh,
NFL
really?
Street too. Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah.
Joe Thomas, I'm also not going to go.
No.
I skipped over him too
Yeah.
quickly. He played for the Browns, considered one of the best offensive linemen of all time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely of our generation, you could argue number one.
And he does a really good job on Amazon.
Yeah, I forgot he was on there, huh? Yeah. Is he always, or is it just like a rotation? I forget.
I don't know exactly, but I know when I
It's the same. It's the same people.
Same cast.
Yeah.
It's like him with Richard Sherman.
And with
Yeah, the
Fitzmagic.
after show. It's.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that crew that they have right now.
They got it going on. And DeMarcus Ware.
Is that the bald guy?
Yeah, the ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Ware.
I did not know he had the 9th most sacks all time.
I didn't know that either.
That's some good company right there.
Former Cowboy, Bronco, also won the
Super Bowl
Super Bowl,
champion, yeah.
Super Bowl 50 with the Broncos. 9th most, like you said, all time in sacks, 138.5, and he's a 4-time first-team All-Pro.
Hell of a career.
It's really cool to see these guys go in because these are guys that we watched.
Right. And it's also nice for like Rondé Barber and Zach Thomas, who are, they played, late 90s
Mhm.
through the early 2000s to finally get in there after being on the ballot for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Darrelle Revis, like we said, and DeMarcus Ware, superstars during our lifetime.
Joel Rivas was, I think, out of this group, is the biggest name, probably the best player.
Definitely, I would say probably the highest peak of all these guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's the way to put it.
yeah.
And there was
Also,
also,
DeMarcus Ware's badass. So.
there was also other people who got voted in that were kind of more the old timers that we didn't really know very well.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna put their names down too.
I only saw these 5, but maybe I missed it. Was there a bunch of other guys?
There was like 4 other guys.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
They know.
You got the important ones.
Exactly. Well, I thought you put these one. I thought you put these ones down.
I
because-
literally only saw these 5 on the article I read.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you put.
Shitty article.
I thought you put these ones down because these are the ones that we like saw play. You know what I mean?
Ooh, maybe
Yeah.
that's what they were talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. If I missed names, I apologize to those players. Do you know who they are?
I did see them. One of them was a former Cowboy.
Okay.
He was a Super Bowl,
That's the only reason he cares.
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP back in the day.
Really? Okay.
So congratulations to all the guys who made it.
Mm-hmm.
I do forget that they do the Hall of Fame class during the awards.
Yeah.
And speaking of NFL awards,
Kelly Clarkson hosted in an atrocious Cowboys dress. That was bad. I mean, it was kind of fun, but it was terrible. I thought she would like change.
it's kind of cringy because it's like, of course, she's a Cowboys fan. In the dress. So it was like a CeeDee Lamb jersey. It had the 88. And then very poofy on the bottom. And it had like Prescott,
Yeah, it was like a bunch of
Lamb.
yeah.
Had a bunch of names from jerseys on it. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
No. I just honestly I thought okay that was like what she came out in. I thought she'd change because I wouldn't want to wear that all night long. But no, she did. She rocked it. Shout out to her.
What's worse, that dress or a talk show?
Damn.
You know, just let her live her life. It's gotta be better than Rachel Ray's talk show. Okay.
Oh,
She has a
God.
talk show?
Yeah.
Does she
Does it
really?
involve cooking?
Yeah.
I would hope.
Okay, I hope. Okay. That's,
Yeah,
a little,
but, like-
that's a little different.
I used to watch it at an old job, and she like planned somebody's wedding
Yeah.
over like 5 episodes. I don't know. Anyway,
My grandma was a 30-minute meals bitch. She loved 30-minute meals.
but
Yeah,
what
my
did-
parents watched that for sure.
What did we determine that does not include prep?
Yes. I mentioned it to your mom and she's like, I did not include.
Trigger.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They gotta do all the prep and then it's 30 minutes.
Exactly.
So the NFL awards happened also last night, like we said.
I'm trolling Gage
Yeah.
via text right now.
Patrick Mahomes won MVP,
He did? Second of his career?
He did.
5,200 total yards.
Passing, yeah. 41 touchdowns
Wait,
in
no,
a
he
year.
had 52.
100 passing yards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So because he doesn't run that much yet.
Yeah.
41 touchdowns. It's deserved.
Oh, yeah.
I think if Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt a couple games, it might have been a little different.
Yeah, maybe.
Or the voting might have been a little closer.
Right.
If there wasn't so much doubt in the Eagles, come on.
Well, this happens before the playoffs start.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Talking shit.
They just don't announce it until now.
Got it.
Which is kind of shitty for Patrick Mahomes because now he has to go into the Super Bowl with the thing hanging over him that he's the MVP, so he should win. You know.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because do you know the last time an MVP won a Super Bowl?
Well, I know Matt Ryan didn't.
Just take a guess. Take a guess what year. The last time an NFL MVP won the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna say, was it like long ago?
I'm not going to give you that.
I'm gonna say Tom Brady did it in like 2016 or something.
No.
1999 Kurt Warner.
Really?
It's the last time an NFL MVP won the Super Bowl. So right now, like you said,
Oh,
It's
there
not
is
looking
a-
good
there
for
is
Patty.
Yeah.
huge cloud over Patrick Mahomes right now.
But it wasn't always announced the way it is now. I don't think it was always the week before the Super Bowl.
You could be right, but I'm
That
just
is
saying.
interesting. I feel like they should wait
Should
till
be-
after.
They should have an award show like
It should be a party
like between here.
that Patrick Mahomes can attend. Did
Yeah.
he? Was it in?
Probably.
No,
yeah.
No,
I know, I
don't
saw-
think it was in Arizona.
I think I saw his speech was like a video.
Yeah, that's lame.
That is lame.
Well, he's prepping.
Yeah, but like
if I'm a Chiefs fan and he's at the award show, I'm like, bro, you need to be watching film.
No. I don't think he should be.
Well,
at the
no, they
award
should have the
show.
award
I think
show.
It should be after,
Exactly,
so he can go.
be.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Same with the Pro Bowl. They announce players who
Okay.
are going to the Super Bowl and they can't go. I think that's lame.
Gotcha.
Well, and the Pro Bowl is stupid. Anyway,
The Pro Bowl for
it doesn't-
me is like an end of the year field day, and I think if you get named to the Pro Bowl, you should be able to go.
Which, can we just make a quick comment that the Pro Bowl, I think, was actually not terrible,
I
given
think
that they
that's
played a little flag football.
I'm
fun.
glad you mentioned
And
it
then-
because I was going to. I think the Pro Bowl, given what it is now, I like the games to it because I'm a games guy.
Yeah, I think it just made it more fun.
The
Right.
flag football game, to me, you don't need that. I don't think you need that.
Well, you have to play some version of football. You can't
Yeah.
just do skills games.
Well,
I think it was
and
fine.
They rounded it off. That was how one won,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
They could have made the flag football a little shorter.
Well, they did tighten it. Like, it wasn't like a
No,
full-
I'm saying the amount of time they played
Oh,
the
okay.
game, yeah. Because they played 3 different games of like 10 minutes, or whatever it was.
The way that it worked is they did the games, and it
scored
accumulated
points via
Yeah.
and then
winning, yeah.
whoever, that's how they won.
Which I believe the NFC won, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was fun, but I think if you get named to the Pro Bowl, you should be able to play. Come on, do one more week of NFL after that.
I think some guys don't want to be there.
Yeah, I mean Josh Allen opted out and he went and played golf.
So I'm sure the Super Bowl guys are like, I'm happy to be at the Super Bowl and not at the Pro Bowl.
Absolutely.
Also, Patrick Mahomes becomes the 9th quarterback with multiple MVP awards, joining Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Johnny Unitas, Kurt Warner, and your boys Steve Young and Joe
I
Montana.
didn't know Kurt Warner won it twice. That's crazy.
Because so the first time he won it was when he won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The second time he won it is I think when they lost to the
A
Patriots.
couple years later.
Oh
yeah.
dang.
Zam.
And so for Mahomes, being like in that, those are all Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
All these guys right here are some of the greatest to ever do it.
I mean,
And Mahomes is gonna be there too. He's gonna be. He's already. I think it's still really early, but
there is
gotta be
an
there.
argument that he could drop his shit right now. And be in.
Exactly.
he could
Yeah.
be like Sandy Koufax
Yeah.
and drop it right now because Sandy Koufax had a lot
Right.
of stuff done in baseball.
In like a 9-year period or
And
whatever it
dropped
was.
it.
Yeah.
So
You never
Patty,
know.
I know you're not a Mahomes guy. I
It's
get
just
it.
because he's on the Chiefs.
Do you think you could put some stock also in that argument, knowing what he could have done more, or is that not fair?
I don't think you could. No, you can't. You can't give somebody a Hall of Fame bid because of what they could have done.
Okay.
I think it has to be what you have.
No.
But I mean, he has a good resume already, and then you just kind of like, all right, he decided to do this for whatever reason it was.
Yeah, but he didn't do it.
Yeah,
Fair.
it has to be. It has to be. I understand what you're saying, but it
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah.
what he has done.
That's fair. No,
If
yeah.
you're giving Hall of Fame for what could have been,
I wouldn't do it off
There would be a
like
lot
1 or
more
2
people in the
years
Hall of Fame.
before the.
well, if you want to do what could have been, I'll give you your boy Andrew Luck. I know he's not done what Patrick Mahomes has done.
Yeah, that's. I don't think it's a fair.
I don't know
Fair
if you could,
comparison.
if you could
Well, but you know what I
even
mean, like-
eliminate people from the Hall of Fame at that point because what could have been.
But don't you think you could have?
I'm saying what could have been because he's done a lot. Already.
Okay.
Sure, if he
Because-
sustains.
Right. Yeah. And he has been like very consistent.
Like, so is it kind of like how Terrell Davis was? Would you kind of compare them to? Because they've had, Terrell Davis is going to have a long career. But he won a couple Super Bowls, maybe a couple rushing titles, MVP.
That's a pretty
If you were to drop it right now,
fair comparison.
but I'm not
And
going
even Barry Sanders, who played fairly long for a running back, but could have played longer.
If I'm a voter, and I think voters can't think that way,
No.
Right.
you have to do what you have done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to.
This is not a world of.
It's just he's played his 6th year now. That's why it's
insane.
crazy to think that he has a Hall of Fame career now,
Mhm.
and could drop it, but he's only
He
played
could.
that many.
He
Yeah.
could. It's not guaranteed.
And get in there.
Who knows?
All right.
We'll see.
Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson, 128 yards receiving or receptions, 1,800 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns. The touchdowns is surprising.
Yeah, you would think there'd be more.
Yeah, like
Do
10
you
to
think
12,
that's
10 to 12
fair,
range.
or do you think that's overhyped, like the Vikings were?
Okay, here's my question about this. Are you okay with a quarterback winning the MVP of the season, MVP of the NFL, whatever, and not being named Offensive Player of the Year also?
it does seem a little ass backwards.
It's a little
Or
weird,
weird,
right?
yeah.
It's like, oh, well, this guy had such a great year. We want to find some way to honor him.
It's almost like you're the second in MVP voting,
A little
getting
bit.
this reward.
Yeah.
Even though I know he wasn't. He probably didn't
No.
get very many votes, if
No.
not any.
And I can kind of see it, whereas like, oh well, yeah, sure, a quarterback's gonna win MVP having a great season because he's the quarterback and that's the most valuable position on the team. And then this receiver having a monster year is different because that was a great offensive season.
Yeah.
But
It's
I would have
a-
expected it to be Patrick Mahomes.
It's a weird award to get.
Do you think they're just trying to spread the wealth?
Yeah.
A little bit. That's kind of That's kind of where I was going with that.
Your boy Nick Bosa, no
Let's go.
surprise, Defensive Player of the Year. Well deserved, 18.5 sacks. Led the Niners to the NFC Championship game. Unfortunately lost,
Yep.
as you know.
He didn't
Badly.
He didn't put up numbers in the playoffs, unfortunately, but it wasn't because of lack of effort.
That just means that means honestly
There's
that's
probably a focus on it.
that means how great he is because they know like 97.
Yeah.
We
Well,
have
double
to guard.
teams.
If we don't guard him, we lose the game.
Yeah, two guys that way.
That's true. That's true.
You have to. You have to give 2 or 3. I mean, for Nick Bosa, he's that good.
Yeah.
I'm a Parsons guy, but Nick Bosa is a better defensive player right now than Micah Parsons.
If you're just talking about like pure pass rushing, for sure.
Yeah, I guess Micah
I think
Parsons
Parsons is a little more versatile. Yeah.
Versatile.
Like I'm not asking Nick Bosa to cover anyone. Micah Parsons can do it. I wouldn't ask him to do it regularly, but he can do it.
So congrats to Nick Bosa. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson for the Jets.
He had a nice year. I didn't even realize he put up these numbers.
I can't even say I can remember. I don't know who this guy is.
He went to Ohio State. He was one of those 2 studs a couple years ago.
He's on the Jets.
Yeah, 83 catches, 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then Sauce Gardner from the Jets. This is the 3rd time that teammates have won both Rookies of the Year.
Do you know who the other 2 are?
I
I mean, talk about a good.
saw it.
Talk about a good draft class by the Jets.
Well, they
man.
had the 2 top 10 picks. That's
Wow,
that helped.
yeah, that's nice.
Certainly.
Yeah, Sauce was a beast. The first team All Pro as a rookie. Like you can't, and led the NFL in passes defended.
Is his real first name Sauce?
It is Ahmad,
Okay.
but Sauce sounds saucy.
So offensive Rookie of the Year, Brock Purdy. Did he get any votes? Do we know?
He was a finalist. So that means he was top 3.
And also Kenneth Walker the third for the Seahawks.
I thought he was going to be the one to win the award.
I don't know what his stats are off the top of my head, but I know he played.
He missed a few games, which may have hurt his
Gotcha.
raw numbers.
Sauce
But he was
Gardner
good.
was born in 2000.
Yeah.
Bless you. Beers?
I'll take one.
Beers?
Messi.
Let's see downstairs.
Yeah, I'll
Come
take
on.
one. Yeah. Speaking of the Seahawks, comeback player of the year, which I knew this was a locked deal.
You did.
Geno Smith, 4,200 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, and a 69.80 completion percentage. Led the NFL.
Yeah, had a great year. The only thing, and I hate saying this, but it's like, what is comeback mean? Or what does comeback mean?
You guys already had this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Dude, the man came back from irrelevance.
Okay.
But because he had to. He was number 1.
Because when
You're coming back from literally being
The
a
bench?
bust.
right.
Yeah.
What I've always when I was younger, I always thought of like the award meant you're coming back from a down season, and then it became like you probably had to come back from an injury to win this award, which I guess that makes sense. But to me, it was always a down season. In the NFL, it's hard to quantify what a down season is because even though like thinking about it like a running back who is normally running for 1,600 yards and only runs for 1,100. Like, yeah, still it's a decent season.
Yeah.
You can't really call that a down season, but even though it is. So I always thought this award was very hard to get, right.
So do you have any issues with this?
I don't know who would have won it else, otherwise.
You want to say McCaffrey, don't you?
No, I wasn't really thinking that.
Do you think the award should be modified then?
It's just,
Maybe
I think it's kind of a weird award. I just don't
Maybe
really
comeback
understand
team
it.
of the year?
Comeback team.
Hey, that would be easier to award.
Well, that always goes to the coach who turns the team around.
I don't have a problem.
No, I'm not mad about the award going to Geno. I think he had a great season, and I think he deserves to be recognized for it.
That's just because you had him in your fantasy.
I just don't know how. I don't know how this award really. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
In my mind. YouTube, bear with us. It takes so much longer than it used to. It
Really?
used to be just boom, and I'd start up another one.
Honestly, I was like, why are you guys waiting?
And we're back.
Coach of the year is Brian Dable of the New York Football Giants, a 9-7-1 record in the first New York Giants playoff appearance since 2016.
I think this was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I know Kyle Shanahan was the
So that was
betting
the-
favorite after
Yeah.
the finalists were announced.
Oh.
Not by a lot. I think Dable was number 2.
Was Kyle Shanahan in the?
He was a finalist.
Okay. Who was the other finalist?
Um,
Oh, I believe-
Sirianni, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
And-
they were the only two that I recognized. Was
And it's hard because Sirianni does have his team in the Super Bowl.
on lock.
But they're loaded.
Yeah.
I think Dable won this award for winning as many games and doing as well as he did with
Damn.
A whatever
not much.
team. Yeah.
I mean, their defense was okay. They had Saquon, who's was awesome this year, but receivers, nada. Daniel Jones, nobody thinks much of him, and he played his best season.
Yeah.
That was the one team in the playoffs that people were like, they probably shouldn't be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though they did beat the Vikings, but the Vikings were the Vikings, right?
But they got there. They got there fair and square.
Yeah.
So
I think the case for Shanahan would have been that the quarterback's going down, but at the same token, like with Philadelphia, like the rest of the roster's loaded. So
Yeah.
you would think they should still win some games. It doesn't really matter.
I just read the first part of the thing that we're going to talk about.
well,
I
you
didn't
could
see that.
you could argue that you didn't know that the quarterbacks were loaded, but they kind of were. Brock Purdy,
Well, he turned
cut
out
for
to
a
be
long
very
time.
good.
He was
turned out to be very good.
the
all
perfect
things
man for the
considered.
job, right?
Yeah.
So still loaded.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Brian Dable is well deserved to get this award.
And the Walter Payton Man of the Year award is Dak Prescott. You've heard of him before, I'm sure, on this podcast.
Not positively.
No. But Dak Prescott does seem like he's a good guy.
He does.
And I'm not surprised that he won this because, based on the things that I've seen off the field, he does do a good job of doing charity work and
Conducts himself very well.
exactly.
Uses his platform wisely.
Yes.
And that's all you can ask for.
So from here on out, when you see Dak Prescott play football, he will have the Walter Payton patch on
Oh,
his
that's
jersey.
right. Yeah,
oh,
I like
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
They started,
That's nice.
they started doing that a few years ago. So whenever you win the award, you have the patch. So that's cool.
It's nice when good behavior pays off.
Exactly.
Right?
And he's a good guy. He did lead the league in interceptions and lost to the Niners in the playoffs again. But,
So for the audience, I forgot to put this under the awards section.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and just a few minutes ago, I typed it in, and I've had a little stat next to everybody's name that we mentioned, and the stats I put in were led league in interceptions and lost to the Niners in the playoffs. Again.
You know what? You read them. Good for you.
Yes. And Gage was not a bitch about it, and that's why I love him. That's why he's my podcast partner.
The thing about Dak is Dak is overcome, right? Dak's made good out of tough situations.
Fourth round pick.
But okay, but also, I hate the off the field narratives, but off the field, he's taken a huge leap with mental health, which rightfully so, considering his circumstances. So he deserved the award.
And he kicks ass at the podium,
He does.
plays the good guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's
He just-
everything
He deserves it, regardless of what the stats say.
Yeah.
he's everything an owner would want.
If I ever got a Dak Prescott jersey, I'd better have that fucking patch on it too, by the way.
Yes.
Thank
It's
you.
just going to be $50 more.
All right. Well, we haven't talked about the Super Bowl yet, but we probably should, right?
Well, one more thing I want to say about MVPs and stuff, all that.
Okay.
The Bills' athletic trainer, Denny Kellington, actually got a 5th place MVP vote for the CPR that he gave to DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, that's cool.
Somebody actually voted for him. Can you believe that? I think that's really cool.
I don't know you were allowed to do that.
Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
doesn't. He's not a player, but
Yeah.
that's very cool.
I just think
It's the thought that
it's
counts.
a thought that counts.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's just kind of like a tip of the cap.
DeMar Hamlin won something.
I think he did.
About charity work,
Yeah, because his charity.
Oh, because they
Because
kicked
he made,
ass
like-
after all
like
the
$9
shit went
million.
down. Yeah.
So I just want to mention your boy, Denny Kellington, for getting a MVP vote.
Athletic trainers, man. I honestly didn't even know they existed until one of my friends in college was majoring in that. But they deserve some credit. They keep those boys healthy.
The look on your face, you have some qualms. Tell me.
He's not a player.
No, I was just saying, if there's
Doesn't
a
really make
perseverance
sense.
award, it should be to Demar Hamlin. But
Maybe they should make one.
yeah,
I thought it was a nice gesture. You guys
That's
are
cool.
ruining. You guys are ruining it for me right now.
I was just
I
like,
was just
wait, he
saying
got an
about
MVP. How did?
athletic
How,
trainers.
is that a write-in?
It probably was.
It had to be.
I suppose you can do that in any election.
It seemed a little cheesy, but I get where the gesture was coming from.
The NFL is cheesy, so
It's scripted, right?
It's also not.
we have to let that go.
It's also not relevant in this city or in this country. By the way, in France.
Yeah, they don't
We'll get
give
to
a
that.
fuck.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Yes.
If anything, the Google Doc or the notes, Apple Notes, says that the Patriots do, but that's it. That's the only NFL thing. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah. If you guys don't know.
Monday morning,
If
baby.
you, guys, if you guys don't know, Sunday for people listening, or
Sunday Super Bowl
Sunday Super Bowl.
is going to be Monday morning Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the Super Bowl for the first time.
It's
on
gonna
Monday.
kick off at 12:30 a.m. Monday morning.
A.m.
And we're
That
going to
means-
watch it.
That means we're gonna be out until
Oot and boot.
4.
4
Probably.
a.m.
Yeah.
Probably till 4.
Ballin'. We're going to watch Rihanna.
That is rough. Thank you for mentioning her, because I have a bold prediction. Lace me up. My bold prediction.
Oh, is it opening song?
My bold prediction is that A$AP Rocky's gonna come out during the halftime show.
Nice call.
That's a good
You got
one.
some insight or what, bud?
Okay.
I don't.
I haven't even thought about that.
The only insight that I have is that is her baby daddy, and why would he come out? You know.
Because it's only so much time. They don't even sing full songs. The bigger argument right now is what song is she gonna start
Yeah, I
with,
was gonna
because
say, I
there's
thought that's where you were
so
going.
many
Yeah, I
that
thought
she
that's
could
where you
start
were.
with.
No, I'm not gonna do something. I think A$AP Rocky come out. They might play Fashion Killer, the song they have together. You never
I was gonna
know.
say,
He
that
might.
one.
I bet you he might come out and do Wild Thoughts and do Bryson Tiller's verse.
I could see that more because that's a more popular
It's a more
song,
popular song.
and that's what plays in the Super Bowl.
So
you know.
that's what I'm doing.
I like that.
Let her rip.
Cheers.
La Fapine. That was really cute.
Yeah, that was nice. We'll get a picture of it on YouTube.
You guys always do.
I keep.
Date today?
Well,
The 10th?
It's the 10th. Not
You know
anymore.
what's right here?
I keep looking at my clock and it says 9:55 a.m. I'm like, ooh.
Oh.
And I'm thinking like 9:55 p.m. because it's dark out. I'm like, no, wait, it's 10 o'clock.
No, it's almost 7.
Yeah.
So you guys like that? Is that good enough for you?
Yeah.
That's a good, bold prediction.
Because nobody knows.
Nobody
Except for you,
knows.
apparently.
Except Rihanna.
You're about to fleece us.
Dude, if we're watching the game at a bar or here,
You're cheering.
You're
And
gonna
I
lose
see-
your
and I see
shit.
A$AP Rocky come out, I'm done. I'm losing it.
You're pouring up shots for us.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Are shots a thing in this country? Has anybody? Nobody's tried.
Yeah. Well, they serve Jaeger bombs at our neighborhood bar.
Oh,
Which we're gonna go to. So
at
yes.
the karaoke box,
The karaoke box.
literally next door.
Yeah. I love that. That's why we have to go because it's next door.
We're in between the pokey place and the karaoke place. Ooh,
Pokey
pokey
karaoke.
karaoke. Ooh.
Yeah.
We'll be writing a song about that later. So the Super Bowl,
It's happening.
it's coming up. Are you excited,
I am.
Devin?
I'm kind of indifferent. I mean, fly Eagles fly, but that's just because I don't like the Chiefs.
I'm happy that the Niners aren't in it
Oh, I bet you are.
because I would be a nervous wreck right now thinking about it.
I'm, of course I want to see my team be there and win, but I'm kind of glad that we're not. I don't have that stress like hanging over myself while
For
we're
this
here,
particular year, it was nice that none of our teams made the Super Bowl.
which was a very real possibility for all of us.
It was.
Well, we know for me it was because I'm a Cowboys fan.
You're just negative.
Yes, agreed.
But it could have happened.
It could have. Very much
And
so.
it's nice that we can be indifferent, but I'm not indifferent. I don't want the Chiefs to win the Super
That's
Bowl.
fine. That's fine.
I want them to lose to the Eagles.
So our first question is, who do you like to win? So you're picking the Eagles.
Are you asking me?
Well, it's yeah.
Like, who do you think's gonna win though?
Who do you think? And who, so we know who you want, but who do you actually in your heart think? Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because
It's a great matchup on
It
paper.
is a really good matchup. Like the NFL could not have. I mean, it's scripted, right? But they couldn't have asked.
That was good.
That was good.
They couldn't have asked for a better matchup. Truthfully, they couldn't have. I see, because of my luck and Patrick Mahomes' luck, I can see them winning. I really could. But I could also see the Eagles winning. Who do I prefer? The Eagles, just because I don't like the Chiefs, and I really don't want to have the Bills to have to play former Super Bowl champions.
Well, they already have.
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
So who do you think will win?
You know, my heart says the Chiefs are going to win.
Mine does.
My gut kind of says the Eagles will win. It's really, really close. I think I like the Chiefs. I mean, obviously I meant to mention this last week, but we both wanted to mention the fact that Patrick Mahomes' 2 worst playoff games, if you're going by passer rating, have been in the Super Bowl.
What's the narrative going to be if it happens again?
His 52.3 passer rating versus the Bucks was his worst a couple years ago, and then against the 49ers, 78.1 was the second worst.
But they still
out of
pulled
the
that game out of their ass.
Patrick Mahomes is literally this close to being
0-2 in the Super Bowl.
and
This close.
and to,
let's define
and
that.
to being
You're giving him an itch.
and to being John Elway, which is still a Hall of Fame caliber player and one of the
Right.
best quarterbacks ever, and he won it. So I can't talk shit. He won against Niners.
You know, that's
and I'm very
crazy.
happy about it. But I think he is this close to being this generation's John Elway.
It's funny you say that too, because I think about like the way, people older than us describe John Elway is that he was ultra talented, which is what Patrick Mahomes is.
Exactly.
But similar, could have been similar career trajectories.
And I was thinking Jim Kelly, but Jim Kelly Jim Kelly lost the 4 straight.
Right.
But I think anybody. Sorry.
You weren't,
No.
Anybody would say John Elway was better than Jim Kelly. No.
Just don't talk about my
Yeah.
players like that.
Even when John Elway was losing,
Right.
because John Elway won the back-to-back
Right.
at the end of his career. Anybody would say John Elway's better than Jim Kelly.
Right.
But I think if Mahomes would have, and I know you wish he would have, lost that last Super Bowl and lost the one against the Buccaneers, going into this one,
There'd be something hanging there.
It would have been a lot more. The cloud would have been darker.
Right.
So that's the only comp I could really give it if that would have happened.
Yeah.
But even the narrative going into this game, given how he's played the last 2 Super Bowls he's been in, it's like, man, it's almost like if he wins, it's fine, but he has to have somewhat of a decent game.
Right.
How many Super Bowls does Tom Brady have?
7.
He's not. Patrick Mahomes is not winning 7. I'm sorry, but the odds of him winning.
Dude, he said on this podcast, what,
I know.
2 years? Do you remember what you said? You thought Patrick Mahomes could get there or surpass it.
He's gonna win
Did I say that?
more. I don't think he's gonna win 7.
I'm pretty sure you asked me, do you think Patrick Mahomes could get to 7?
Do I think he could?
Or win 7?
I think he could.
I said I don't think he could.
Things have to go right.
I
but
could
of
say
course.
easily 4.
Yeah, I think 4 is very realistic.
4 is realistic.
And I told you last year, or last time, 2 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl, before the game against the Bucks, and I said, I thought it was a must-win game for him because for his legacy. Because I thought he had to go. Because I didn't think he was going to get to 7, and I thought he had to go the Joe Montana route and go
Perfect.
like 4-0.
Yeah.
And I thought losing this one would be because
Detrimental.
I thought detrimental, and I thought he had to go at least 4-0 because I didn't think he was going to get to 7.
Right.
Because people put Joe Montana as 4-0,
They put it on a pedestal.
no interceptions in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
which is impressive.
And what, 3 MVPs? Or 4? 3?
I think he might have 3.
Yeah. Jerry may have got
I thought that's the only way Patrick Mahomes could be in the conversation to go past Brady because of the stats that he would get. That would be way more than Brady's.
Right. I was gonna put together a question for you. So obviously Tom beat him in the Super Bowl recently.
He did.
Beat him in an AFC Championship game.
He did.
Well, beat him in.
2.
Well, he beat him in the one like 4 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
So he's only beaten him in the playoffs twice.
Beat him in the playoffs twice. So put that in perspective. Tom Brady is beating this superstar kid at 40 plus years old in the playoffs twice now.
So is he that great?
Could he surpass Tom?
But here's the thing: is like what does it take for him to eclipse Tom on the?
Well, that's the thing is Tom's out of his prime. Tom beat Patrick Mahomes twice out of his prime.
Exactly. So what does it take for Patrick Mahomes to eclipse Tom potentially?
I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. But what would it like? Does he have to win like 2 more Super Bowls then, or just?
I don't see it happening because I think he needs 7 or 8 Super Bowls. I
Well,
think
that's
he
what I
might
mentioned. What
need-
would it take?
No,
Yeah.
he would need 8 Super Bowls.
At least
That
8,
would-
right? You got, probably
well,
got to
I
at
think
least 8.
That's the.
But then
number.
there's always that thing hanging over him that he never beat Tom in the biggest games.
Because the only people that have
That's true.
dirt
He's
on Tom Brady,
retired.
they'll have dirt on Patrick Mahomes right now.
Yeah.
It's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. I mean, he just beat Joe, but it's like
Joe
it's-
Burrow doesn't have
He
it.
barely beat. He barely beat Joe.
So I mean,
But still.
if there's more than one person, not named Tom Brady, it's Joe Burrow.
Right.
So I think it's those two who have quote unquote his number. I mean,
Yeah.
Brady does, but I think Joe Burrow.
I'm not going to give that to Joe Burrow yet.
No. Either
Joe Burrow has to win a Super Bowl first.
either Patrick Mahomes has to sustain his prime, or is not in his prime yet. Could Patrick Mahomes improve? Sure.
There's, yeah.
I think if Patrick Mahomes gets 6 and has the stats, I think you might.
No.
I think anybody on this earth besides Skip Bayless would give Patrick Mahomes maybe the GOAT
Right.
type deal.
Well, say so Tom's got 7 Super Bowls.
I mean,
Say-
Patrick Mahomes is not gonna get. I mean, he could maybe get 7. He's not gonna get 8. That'd be outrageous.
Crazy.
You're telling me
he's damn good.
You're telling me he's gonna double? He would double Joe Montana and beat Brady by 1. I don't see that happening.
Well, that's why Tom Brady is the greatest of all time in football, because that is a
He did.
unreachable
He did
goal.
something
He's
that yeah.
he's the Bill Russell of
Yeah.
football.
If I think both your minds might change slightly if Patrick Mahomes goes into this game and just lights it up and the Chiefs win easily and gracefully.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because
There's things to prove.
he could
right?
not be in his prime yet. Realistically, he
Right.
could get better.
Yeah.
That's a very real possibility.
I like I said, I think he needed to win that last one, and to
Yeah, it
and
hurt.
to beat Brady, because if he would have beaten Brady, and he would have won the same amount as Brady, you could say, well, Brady lost to him.
Yeah.
So then one could argue he really needs to win this one.
The tough thing for
Well,
Patrick,
he needs to win this one,
I think so, for legacy purposes, yeah.
because let's say Brady went to 10, which is
It's
outrageous.
fucking crazy.
Outrageous.
He played like half his career in the Super Bowl.
In the
And-
Super Bowl.
And
That
this
like
would
became
be-
a regular
this
thing for him.
would be Mahomes' third. He would lose. Let's say if he lost, he would lose 2 of his first 3.
Which is not a good look.
And I know John Elway kind of did that. Like it's just kind of like.
You have to stop comparing players.
But that's who I'm comparing Mahomes to, because it just makes sense. Because John Elway did lose a lot of Super Bowls. He lost more than he won.
Yeah.
He did. But did he lose 3 and 1, 2?
Yeah. Lost the first 3 he went to, which was in his athletic prime, you could argue.
They're comparable at the moment.
Won a couple Peyton Manning Super Bowls at the end of his career.
But it's Mahomes.
We just have to see. We have to wait and
Yeah.
see. Is the reality.
Are how many MVPs would be enough to overcome like 2 fewer Super Bowls? Like if Mahomes won 5, does he have to win like 6 or 7 MVPs?
I don't know.
Or is that still not enough?
At what point are people not voting for MVP anymore?
Well, it'd be hard to win 7 MVPs because
you're not winning
there's
Super Bowls.
voter fatigue. It's a reality.
Oh, he just lost the past 5 Super Bowls.
Mahomes, in my opinion, like I said, is he's in a tough spot.
He definitely has more on his shoulders than Jalen Hurts does.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts just has this incredible season with his team
Yeah.
and the fucking Philadelphia fan base. But that's not really that big of a deal.
Do you feel there's any relief for Mahomes based on him not having both of his starting tackles in that Super Bowl he played against the Bucks and having to run around?
No, that's not gonna matter to me in the GOAT debate.
What if he wins this one? Wins like a few more, like never loses another Super Bowl.
If that was his only loss, like if he goes 6-1,
Because I mean, there's no question about it. He was running for his life. in
he
that
was.
game. There's no question about it. He was running for his life in that game.
Didn't he run like 500? Not 500 yards, but he ran a lot of yardage being in the pocket. Or
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty much flush out of the pocket almost every play.
I wish I remember that game because I was hammered for that game.
That
You
game
were
sucked.
hammered for that
Hammered.
game.
That game was awful.
Oh, was
I just
it?
I don't remember. I still remember. I remember watching the game. I don't remember like
No.
specifically seeing him go like a rainbow.
I tried to go tit for tat with Ali Floor on shots. No, I've never done it since. Still can't.
That Super
look
Bowl.
at
That Super Bowl
Corona.
was.
Eventful. We won't talk about it. Let's.
I think if Mahomes went 6-1,
won like 4 Super Bowl MVPs.
I think
he might win all of them, honestly.
I'll give you this: if Mahomes is a three-peat
That would be
and
badass.
only has one
be badass.
loss, let's say he has 4 Super Bowl wins in his career,
but puts together 3-peat.
and he has
That'd
the
be
one
pretty cool.
the one against the Niners, and then he has this one, the next one, and the next one, which has never happened for any team ever. That's kind of something
That would be something to put up there.
because Brady won
And
2.
And this may be the toughest era to do a
Yeah.
3-peat.
Yeah.
Because you can't do the dynasty thing is difficult.
And I had a Patrick Mahomes. Do you remember I had the bold prediction of the Chiefs with 3-peat?
Oh, at some point, yeah.
Because I think it was before the Super Bowl of 2 years ago. I said, "Oh, they're going to win this one." Win the next one.
Right.
I was wrong. But if Mahomes 3-peats and does what no quarterback's ever done, 3-peated,
That would be.
I think you could put that. Let's say he does like a, one against Niners, 3-peats, maybe misses the Super Bowl, or
Yeah.
we'll say he misses the Super Bowl,
Joe Burrow has his time.
and then Mahomes wins like one more, and he has 5.
5 in just the one loss.
You could put the 3-peat. I think the 3-peat would be the.
You could throw that. Yeah, you could make that your argument.
I think that's what he needs to do.
If Patrick Mahomes
That's a
has
good
a
point. I didn't think
three-peat,
about that.
Joe Burrow's not having his time.
The 3-peat is what Patrick Mahomes needs to focus on, in my opinion.
That's a lot. That's even.
It's
that's
incredibly
darker.
hard.
That's a heavier.
It's incredibly hard. I mean, the Bills could have done it, but they didn't. Even the Patriots went to 3 straight, and they didn't.
Yeah, they went to 3. Yeah, but they
Lost
lost
the
one.
Eagles.
Of them,
Beat the Falcons, lost the Eagles.
That would
and
definitely
then
be a greatest of all time
yeah.
conversation.
Beat the Rams.
Beat the Rams. Yeah, all right. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl MVP?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, I like that.
I'm going to pick a tight end, which might be the first time ever for a tight end to win it.
I think if the Chiefs win and
Kelce has a big game.
it's just really hard for
Mahomes.
Mahomes not to have also a big game.
I was gonna say if he had if I'm just gonna say the same thing.
But Edelman, I think, against the
Because he had like
Rams-
what 14 catches.
Edelman got the MVP as a receiver against the Rams, Super Bowl 53,
Mm-hmm.
and Brady didn't get it though.
But Brady didn't have a monster game.
I don't think
Wasn't that
he,
game 13-3?
he didn't throw a touchdown pass, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
I guess I would say Patrick Mahomes in that case because I think the Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is a pretty safe bet to win
Yeah.
MVP. If it was going to be an Eagle,
I don't know enough about the Eagles to say.
it would.
Sorry.
I mean, the quarterback winning the MVP is very easy to say. So Jalen Hurts would have to be in consideration for that
Yeah.
as well.
They're, Mahomes and Hurts are probably the
The
top
2 favorites, yeah. Like on when I was going through bets on DraftKings, you can bet what position you think is gonna win it, and quarterback was like the
Sky
absolute favorite. Like it was like minus 650. So that means you have to bet $650 to win it just 100.
Wow.
Woof.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna play this little game where we rank these 8 categories of the 2 teams, or 4 categories of these 2 teams, 1 through 8. Each team's quarterbacks, so Mahomes and Hurts, the running games of each team, the receiver/tight ends of each team, and then the defenses of each team. Gage, you want to go first?
So we have a top 8.
Top 8, yes.
I'm going Patrick Mahomes 1, Jalen Hurts 2,
Really?
Philly running game 3, Philly defense 4, Kansas City receivers 5, Philly receivers 6, KC defense 7, and the KC running game 8.
Okay, we both have number 1 and number 8 the same. So I got Mahomes number 1. I think he is alone is the reason that the Chiefs have a good chance to win this
No,
game.
we have the same 7 too.
KC defense.
Oh, okay. I put the Eagles' defense at number 2. I think the defense is really damn good. By far the best pass rush in the game this year. I got the Eagles' run game at number 3 because I kind of factored Hurts' running ability into that, and it's pretty
Then you have the
prolific.
same number 3. Eagles running game.
They were number 3 for you.
Yeah.
I was only thinking about running. So yeah, Eagles run game at number 3. I got the Eagles receivers at number 4 because they're pretty damn good. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are really
And
good.
Dallas
And then
Goedert.
Dallas Goedert is a very good tight end, probably top 6 or 8 at least. I put the Chiefs receiving core at number 5. They don't have a really standout number 1 wide receiver, but Travis Kelce is elite.
We have that too.
He's number 1. you know, I could have put Hurts at number 5 because I didn't want to disrespect him, but I put him at 6, and you know, this is a Super Bowl, so putting him at 6 is not total disrespect.
Well, that's why I put Hurts at 2, because in the Super Bowl, it's like, to me, the most important.
Importance-wise, for sure, he's number 2, but I think I'm just thinking like quality of player, you know, as far as this goes. At number 6.
I always think differently.
Yeah.
On those kind of things.
No, that's fine. You know.
It's just a different outlook.
I put the Chiefs defense and run game, I think, would be interchangeable, but I put Chiefs defense number 7 and the run game number 8. We have not seen their run game be very efficient in
Very
the playoffs.
Mahomes
So,
heavy.
yeah. The Mahomie.
The Mahomes boy.
And that's that. Now we're gonna we last week, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it was like the first episode in 4 months where we didn't make a pick on the football game.
Yes.
But we're back with the
'Cause
Super Bowl pick.
There was none.
And we are going to flip a coin to see who gets to choose. And
Not
you can
only a coin,
yeah.
it's a euro.
And
No, it's not
two-
a euro.
it's
It's
2
2
euro.
euro.
€2.
2 euros.
2 euro.
2 euro.
So you want to pick a
coin.
side and whatever side it lands on?
Heads or number?
So heads is with the head on it.
Okay, you can have head.
Tails is the number.
Tails is with €2.
Okay. So if it lands on your side, you can choose or defer.
Ooh.
Okay, so what do you want?
Heads or tails?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so I'm tails, you're heads.
Okay.
Sound good?
Tails.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Chiefs plus 1.5.
Okay.
Ooh.
So yes, the spread is Philadelphia favored by 1.5. Didn't mention that.
So there's nothing on the line here, though. You just.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Gage has owned me this year in picks on all fronts. He
Thank you
killed me
for mentioning.
killed me in college football, had
What
me
can
by
we
a few
do
games in
here
the NFL.
France? That would be fun.
I'll take a shot if I lose.
Okay. Take a shot of this frappine.
Fine.
Because we'll still have it.
Yes.
Are you sure?
I mean we'll have to finish this.
This will that'll be finished by.
yeah, but there's a lot of
I mean,
booze.
we better.
Is this the leader? You know what's funny
What?
is so like a typical bottle of liquor in the United States is either 750 milliliters,
A
Or 1
bottle
liter.
of wine. Yeah.
but they are 70 milliliters here, which is
Jesus.
700 milliliters, not 750.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
yeah.
Have to be different.
Mm-hmm. Got to make it different for the Euros.
Yeah. Maybe trying to differentiate from wine bottles, because wine bottles are the same. It's
Right.
still 750 milliliters.
Yep, yep.
So you're taking the Chiefs.
She's prettier.
I would take the Chiefs plus 1 also.
Yeah, 750 mil.
I feel like I shouldn't be that confident the Chiefs win. I think the outcome possibilities are endless.
I think I would be shocked if the Eagles win. Not shocked.
I was
but
kind
like,
of telling you that earlier, wasn't
I
I?
don't think it would be a shock. They're a damn good
I don't-
football
I-
team.
No.
It's the Mahomes factor.
It is the Mahomes factor.
Exactly.
Which
I
is
just
unfair, I
think
think, to the Eagles.
it's super unfair, but
Yeah.
I see him winning more Super Bowls. So honestly, let's just get this shit going. I don't want it.
Just get it out of the way.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, he's going for 3-piece, so you better get used to it.
But let's be real though, he can't have those same Super Bowl performances that he's
No.
had the last two and expect to win.
No. He has to step it up.
Yeah.
Not in his prime yet. That's where my argument.
Here's why I don't feel as good about the Chiefs as I might, is because this Eagles team feels very similar to that Niners team that lost to them. Yet the Eagles have, I think, a more effective quarterback than that Niners team did.
Yeah. And I don't think the Eagles defense is going to be just letting Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce run the
I think it's almost a guarantee that Patrick Mahomes will turn the ball over once.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, bold prediction. That's not that bold. I'm trying to get.
I had a
sauce
nice
before
parlay
dinner.
lined up until I realized I couldn't drop it.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
Did you check the other one? Can you do the other one?
Yeah, but it would take too much. I
No,
didn't
that's
want
lame.
to. No. Just a quick thought. Over or under 51 points. That is the number right now.
Under.
I'm going under 2. I think it's like a 20, 26, 23 kind
I'll
of
go
game.
over.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Ooh.
You guys are going under, I'll go over.
I mean, who doesn't like points? But I just feel
I'll
like
go over.
I feel like every time you think it's gonna be a high scoring game because the offenses are sexy, it's not, because these defenses are
Sexy
both good.
offense.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a 38-20 Chiefs win.
All right, bracket pool update. It comes down to 3 of us. Me and Nick
We
versus...
still have to pay you, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
so
you do.
confident.
Me and Nick versus Ethan. So if the Eagles win, Ethan will take first place. No questions asked.
Congrats if you win.
Yep. He is the current leader in the clubhouse. However, if the Chiefs win, it's going to be between Nick and I. If the score is 47 points, total score 47 points or less, I will win. If it's 48 points or more, Nick will win.
That is wild.
Because
that you guys
you
were
and Nick
that
had the
close.
Exact same bracket. How and 1
Just a
point
point
apart on the
difference.
total. Ridiculous. Yeah.
Unplanned.
Ridiculous. Unplanned.
What would happen if you guys both had 48? And you guys...
It would just be a draw.
That's lame.
What would happen if it was 48 and it was less than 48? No one won anything?
Well, it would be a draw.
I wonder if you would literally submit the same exact thing. Whoever tried to submit it a second time, they were like, "You can't do that."
No,
Do you
they'd
think
probably
so?
just say it's a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would just split the pot.
That's
between the two
fucking
of us.
lame.
But yeah, and I think the best part of this too is that I kind of pressured Nick to do it because I knew he told me he wanted to, but he just hadn't done it like 15 minutes before fucking first kickoff.
And then he does
And you
this.
And then he does it. He texts me. He's like, "I hate my bracket."
Well,
and then we were perfect for the first 2 rounds. And
That's-
almost yeah.
Classic pessimistic
Yeah.
Nick, though.
We literally have only gotten 1 game wrong this whole time.
And that was the.
The Niners versus Eagles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Because me, you, and him had the... Well, we're not the only ones, but I had the Chiefs Niners in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Fuck, not gonna win.
We might go to the longest episode right here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Not gonna lie.
Who'd have thought?
Be wicked
I
mad.
did too.
Yeah. We'll try to make this last part quick. Let's move on to soccer real quick. So, U.S. men's national team forward, or midfielder rather, Weston McKennie, joining Leeds United, joining his U.S. teammates
Brendan Aronson?
Brandon Aronson and Tyler Adams, trying to make the whole midfield.
USA.
United.
USA.
They might have just called themselves America United.
Huh.
Oh my god. They might want to just because of how bad their record is.
Right.
now.
So, we were kind of talking that maybe we should jump on the bandwagon. Not against them.
I just think you guys should pick a Premier League team because
If they
it's
get
a very-
relegated, I'm off. Which they are like kind of on that fringe right
Okay,
now.
but you could still pick Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City.
Yeah.
But Man City is about to get.
They're getting the hammer.
Well, and they're also so if they get the hammer, teams are looking at trading for I forget his name, that blonde dude with the ponytail.
Oh yeah,
Haaland?
Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
He's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
So he might not want to
He's
stay
gonna
with
go
the
to
team.
Real Madrid if he leaves.
So
Fuckers.
that's all interesting.
Yeah, you heard me, Sal.
Could be fun to join the Premier League. And also,
I would love to go to a Premier League game.
I was gonna say an
like a rivalry
excuse to
game.
go to the UK.
Yeah,
Right.
that would be fun.
Just do this all over again in a couple years.
Why the hell not?
Why the hell not?
Because Emerson's going to Daytona apparently in next year.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys are coming with.
we're going. What are you talking about?
We're not doing the road trip.
We'll
okay,
figure it
but
out.
we still can make it to.
We have not made any plans.
No, but this one's getting out of the group chat too.
We'll see.
Also, since we're here, we're going to, of course, give a little PSG update. They did lose the other night 2-1 to Marseille in the round of 16.
We watched it. It was not
Does
Yeah,
it,
we did watch it.
Doesn't matter though.
It was cool that we were here and we got to watch a game. That was fun.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No. I
And
mean,
it was the-
I mean the
yeah.
result doesn't matter.
No, you're right. And I actually, it's kind of a silver lining
That they
in a
don't have to
way
worry
that
about
they're
it.
just, it's out of the way. Not in this cup anymore. The Coupe de France.
Because they're kind of falling apart at the moment.
They have. What's worrying me about when we get to Tuesday is the fact that they've seen the wrong side of the scoreboard too often in the last month.
And
and
they
a half.
might see the wrong side of the scoreboard tomorrow.
But yeah, hopefully we get the spirits back. Of course, Mbappe got hurt last week, which is not cool. We're praying that they're just trying to fuck with Bayern and he comes back and plays
That'd be great.
on Tuesday. I would love to see him. Of course, we're here to see the superstars. Messi's
That would be
nursing
ideal.
something as well.
Unless Messi decides to sign with a MLS team in 2 years.
Right,
That
right.
would be a little bit more accessible.
So yeah, they play Monaco in League tomorrow. Probably going to be a thin, starting roster tomorrow.
Hey,
With-
you still got my boy Ramos? And what's the dude from Morocco?
Oh, Hakimi. Hakimi's a badass.
He is a star.
Yeah.
He's just he's outshone by
Yeah.
the 3 stars.
But it might be a nice opportunity to give the boys some rest, so they're ready for the big game, which we're going to be at on Tuesday against Bayern Munich in the round of 16 of Champions League, round 1 or leg 1 rather.
Can't wait. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
If you're interested in watching it, it's going to be on at noon on Tuesday in America on
Watch
CBS,
Really?
cable TV,
Sick.
channel 5.
So you could say
Slit.
while you're watching it,
My boys
my
are there.
boys are there. I'm not gonna wear any ISR stuff. I got my PSG long sleeve that
Yep.
this lovely woman got for me, and I love it to death. I can't wait.
All right, chill.
I'll be rocking the beanie and the shirt underneath my puffer. You
I'll
want
be
to see the
rocking
shirt?
nothing because I don't have anything. But man, will I be warm.
Maybe go buy something there.
Yeah, cop a scarf.
Ooh.
Maybe a hat, maybe a beanie, maybe a jacket. We went to a PSG store.
Dude, there
That
was some
jacket was fresh.
there was some saucy apparel in
And
there.
I gotta say, reasonably priced given what it was.
It's probably a little bit less than what you would see American sportswear. Just a tad.
In general, the
Yeah.
euro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
But that was
I just got a notification on my phone. I have something for last call. Don't look at it.
Okay.
Oh boy. Who got traded?
Nobody.
Did you do your bold prediction?
No, I have
Ooh.
one.
What
It's
does it
not
relate to?
Football.
NFL football?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the other football.
Football?
No.
Okay.
I can
Well-
just do it really quick if you want me to.
Well, we can do it in last call. How about that?
Okay.
Which is right about now. What time is it, Gage? Oh shit.
That was loud.
It's
You're gonna
time
crack
for
them.
last call. I'm not
We
gonna
made it.
break Come on.
Just pull it, Danny. It's
Yeah.
7:24 p.m.
Look at Deb. She's gonna have her first little. Ooh.
You know, I've never had one, and I don't really want to take a shot, but I think I need a bold prediction, and it's kind of lame, but you'll like it. You'll appreciate it.
I will.
Oh, don't do that to me. Can you pour
You
lightly?
tell me when.
Go.
That's good.
It's probably good, right?
That's fine. It's a nice 4 milliliter pour, as they say here. I don't like seeing CLs. MLs, that works for me.
Yeah,
But-
CLs is a little bit too
Yeah.
anal. Wow, Danny with the most?
You going down the list right here? Sally's a pain.
I have the most.
And, okay, but besides the two of you,
I'm like
Hey,
sports
you
ASAP
took
Rocky.
the shot.
Hey, you're gonna laugh. You're laughing now, but when he comes out at the
You're
Super
gonna
Bowl,
be screaming
I'm
at
gonna
that.
fucking like I told you. So what's your bold prediction?
I would like to say that next year in the Super Bowl, it's going to be the Bills or the Cowboys playing whoever. Is that a good bold prediction?
One of those two has to be there.
Uh huh.
I like that.
You should say that both of them are gonna be there.
That's kind of what I want, but that's a little bit too bold.
Okay.
A little too bold.
Well, I will say that the
I don't believe in
Bills
the Cowboys that much.
Bills need to do something to get things right. So
It's
they're
not
not
to be not so
they're not a
Josh
shoe
Allen
in.
reliant.
Yeah, they're not a shoe in. Cowboys certainly not a shoe in.
Not a shoo-in.
And they're honestly not making a lot of changes.
They're not gonna be able to.
I know.
Just capitalize.
Yeah, well, exactly. But like even coaching wise, not making a lot of changes. So
It's in.
I believe in my boys.
Pull.
No,
Hey,
me
also
being the bandwagoner fan that I am.
Sal, you need to come on again because remember, hey, Cowboys will make the playoffs. You're not always have my you're not always beat my Cowboys, but you owe.
It's not. Oh,
You fucking owe. I need that.
I don't want to do this. I take it back.
You gotta do it.
Boo.
Ugh.
Chase it with beer. It'll taste better.
She's a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go for it.
Cheers. I'm doing this by myself.
Breathe in through the nose. Drink.
Cheers.
Breathe out the mouth.
I wish the camera could have got that. Nope.
That was yucky.
Through the nose. Through the nose.
I went down my chin. That was really foul. Anyway, last call.
Last call. Here we are.
I'm out of water.
Gage, you got anything?
No, I don't.
Really?
I do.
What you got?
I have that Messi, your boy, and Alex Morgan
Missy.
are and Mbappe lead the final shortlist for the best FIFA players of the year. So
Oh.
obviously Mbappe and Messi are going to be on the men's, and Alex Morgan will be on the women's. But
I think you got to give it to Messi for winning the World Cup against his teammate.
Yeah.
They're both
but
very important players
Mbappe
for their
made
team.
the final, and how old is he?
20. Well, he was 23. He's 24 now.
Happy birthday.
No.
So I agree with you.
I think Mbappe is a better player
Right now.
now, but
That is also a player who could fall off very easily. But soccer's
Yeah.
different than football.
Yeah.
That's a,
I've kind of wanted to bet too. I
that's a
mean,
longevity issue.
he's quite reliant on his athleticism, which doesn't
His
stay
speed, which
his
he will
speed.
not sustain.
right. But he's not unskilled, but he's not super skilled. Like, I mean, he's definitely not a Messi skilled player.
The thing about Messi is he has evolved over time. Same with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You know, they've evolved over time. They were fast when they were younger. They're not now, but they've
They've
developed
got
their
so many other skills.
handling skills.
Right.
So Mbappe could very easily develop those ball handling skills. I don't know if he has the
Certainly.
attitude for that.
Yeah, that's going to be something we find out. Most definitely.
Oh, that was really gross. It's on my shirt.
You still have a little bit left in the cup too.
No, I'm not doing that. That's for you.
I don't want that either.
So something that we didn't really plan on doing, but we have done since we've been in France
Yeah.
is
I'm so happy that you
Yeah.
remembered to do this. Like right when
Like,
we
wrote it
right when we
down.
got here.
yeah. So something we've been
Literally, when we were in the Uber, we saw some guy wearing a hat
yeah.
or a beanie.
Yeah. So we decided that we were going to keep track of all the American sports apparel that we found people
And
wearing
what have we found?
in Paris, and yeah, a lot. no question. And not unsurprisingly, the Yankees have been the most represented franchise in this. We've seen 9 Yankee hats and 1 Yankee jacket. Very nice Yankee jacket, by the way.
Yeah.
So was that Chicago Bulls one, man. That was
That was a very nice
that
one,
was
very similar
wet.
styled, which we saw today.
the Bulls are in.
Yep. So Yankees hats 9, 1 jacket. Of course, we saw 2 LeBron Lakers jerseys, which is
One of them was
fitting.
conveniently the day after he broke the scoring record.
Yeah. The other one was a 23, kind of janky looking, not really a jersey.
Kind of a
But
bootleg type.
We'll give
one.
it a jersey. Had a small number on it.
He still was representing the Lakers.
Yes.
Yes, still representing the Lakers. We've also seen 1 Lakers beanie and 1 Lakers hoodie. Next most represented would be the Patriots. We've seen 2 beanies and 1 hat.
That's a lot of Patriots stuff.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
for lack of representation in NFL.
Right.
That's a lot of
It's the
Patriots.
Tom Brady and recency effect.
And we have not seen a lot of Americans.
No.
we
We've heard
should-
some English, but not a ton
We
of
should
Americans.
preface it with that. The
Yeah.
Americans we have seen have not been wearing
Yeah.
sports gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Yankee hats, I would bet no more than 2 of them speak fluent English.
No.
Also, mostly women.
Yeah.
It's trendy right now.
Yeah.
I have to take the shirt off. It smells like cognac. I can't. I got it on my shirt.
Next up would be the Dodgers that we've seen 1 beanie and 1 hat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I'm surprised that
No?
we haven't seen more Dodgers.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say, that's
Yankee and
not-
Dodgers are the top 2.
I put them both up there with the logo on the hat.
Right.
It's classic.
Blue is a very aesthetic
It's classic.
color.
It's
When
classic.
2 letters cross paths together nicely, it creates a good logo.
That's why SF.
And the Giants have a great logo as well. I think
Yeah,
the
but
orange
it's orange.
the orange color throws people off.
It's orange.
It's not an attractive color.
If it was
Naturally.
a black and white logo naturally, you'd probably see it more often.
Right.
I would think the third most popular MLB logo is the Cubs because it's blue and red.
Yeah, and Chicago's a big city as well.
Yeah.
And then we've seen a Bulls jacket.
That
Which
cool.
was nice.
Nice, like we
That
just
was
mentioned.
today.
Yep.
That was today.
Spurs beanie, which was a throwback, beautiful. I love that one. Did you see the logo on it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
like David Robinson.
Yep, with the pink and teal,
Yeah.
the pink and turquoise. Red Sox beanie. I didn't see that one. One of you 2 did.
Shout out to Zoe.
Yep.
It was
I did
a
not see that one.
black beanie,
Oh, that's the
Uh,
other one. Is Boston.
black
Yeah.
black B with the white outlining.
Yeah.
You got to think of proximity. East Coast teams are
Yeah.
way
East Coast is gonna have a
closer.
more
European people are not making out San Francisco as often
Right.
as they are to New York City,
Right.
Chicago, or Boston.
We also saw a Bears beanie.
We saw like initially coming into the city.
Right, that was the first one we saw. Today, saw Anaheim Mighty Ducks, not the movie, Anaheim Mighty Ducks throwback hat.
The most niche one that we've seen.
Yes,
so
which
far.
is like the duck that looks like a goalie
Yeah.
Jason
has
mask.
the bill.
Yep,
Like the
with the hockey
duck
sticks
bill.
behind it. That was the coolest one I've seen. And then of course, thrown to college, Michelle Michigan shirt.
And I'm pretty sure the woman who was wearing the
Oh, she was in the Gardens.
Yeah.
she was the Dodgers beanie
You're right.
had the Michigan shirt as well.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
that's not necessarily sports related, but
What is?
Michigan.
Michigan's
Well, it's a college. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be sports related, but we're throwing it.
Okay,
In there.
Michigan University. Okay.
We're throwing it. In
Okay. No, you're right.
Throwing it in there.
Look at that. We'll continue to
Hey, we're
look,
gonna update this list when we get back home.
because we're gonna have another French episode.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not gonna do. The
Maybe
list.
will.
We'll
if,
try it out.
Yeah. If it's drastically different, we will. If it's only a couple more.
We should still mention it.
Yeah.
And then from the
We're
next.
gonna see more. The amount. That
Maybe
we
what
see,
I'll
we're
do is
gonna
I'll
see
create
more.
a separate list to
Yeah,
see
you should.
what
There you
we
go.
actually.
Put like a dash in between.
Yeah.
New
And then
and-
put like or put
France episode 2.
yeah Friends episode. Yes.
We truly have not spoken to any of these people.
No.
Yeah, we really have not conversed with people that were not serving us.
No.
Also, I have not.
I almost thought about talking to those American people that were at the Versailles today, but
I've only spotted one of these sports things. I've been paying way too much attention to people's shoes.
Exactly.
Because
the shoe
I've
game,
been
yeah, you're
curious.
right.
Shoe game is nice. I'm
Right.
telling you.
I have to pee and the shit.
Yes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching. Click subscribe. All the above.
YouTube, Instagram,
We're here. We are so happy, and we hope that you're happy for us too.
Yes.
get used to it.
Get used to it.
Get ready for some videos of us at the game on Tuesday.
Yes.
Although
Super Bowl in the bar.
we may be doing an episode before we get to
Yeah.
that game.
Might be a quick turnaround. Might
Yeah.
be doing
We'll
it
see,
Monday.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. Stay tuned to our Instagram accounts, and you'll see what we're up to.
Yes.
Thank you all. See you next time.